Good morning, I'm Anna Palmer.
And I'm Jake Sherman.
And welcome to the Daily Punch, brought to you by Punchbowl News. It's Thursday, August 20th, 2026. Let's get in the mix. Here are your Washington headlines of the day. Number one, what the speaker said in Pennsylvania as data center anxiety rises. Number two, James Braid heads for the exits. And number three, pressure rises on the Gomez ethics investigation. All right, Jake, let's get to it. Speaker Mike Johnson, not in Louisiana, up in Pennsylvania during this August break, campaigning across the state, a critical state for Republicans when they look to try to keep their majority, and Democrats as they try to get the majority. Unsurprising to me that the speaker's confident, but it is an interesting dynamic where this AI data center anxiety is really ground zero and playing out in that state.
Yeah, Anna, let's take this in two parts. Johnson is definitely bullish. He said Laura Weiss, who works with us, interviewed him.
And is in Pennsylvania.
And is in Pennsylvania. Said Johnson told her they're going to substantially grow the majority. Substantially. Steve Scalise said they'll have a 6-seat majority last week. I guess it was last week when I talked to him in Wisconsin and Michigan. Now Johnson is saying they're going to substantially grow the majority. Okay. He also said that prediction markets showing Republicans will lose their majority are being swayed by foreign bettors making wagers on U.S. elections. Okay, maybe not. I don't know. There's a new Emerson poll this morning, Anna. I don't believe anything polls say. So this is just a data point among many that has Democrats up 8 on the generic ballot. Okay, that's one thing to think about. Johnson also said, and we alerted this yesterday, that he's going to put the CR that keeps government open until December 11th on the floor as soon as the House comes back from recess. And he says it will probably pass early, but we've got some work to do. Now, Anna, data centers, we have been really deep into this stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm very proud of that because it is a massive, massive issue. Both parties are saying, and in different ways are saying that data centers, the explosion of data centers is out of control and people want to do something about it. One of the hotbeds is Paige Cognetti, the mayor of Scranton, who is running a data center focused ad in her bid to beat Rob Bresnahan. She said this is about people standing up and standing together against exploitation. And both Cognetti and Bresnahan are saying they're hearing a lot about it. And this is a stunning quote, Anna. Janelle Stelson, who ran against Scott Perry last time, a TV news personality, said, on the doors, we're hearing an awful lot about it. What do you think, Anna, in Pennsylvania?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think interesting. I'd love to understand what substantial means to the speaker, because that's a pretty vague term. 6 could be substantial when you only have one seat majority. So we'll see what that actually, how he triangulates that into an actual number. I mean, I think this AI data center is the issue of the 26 and also probably 28 election cycle. It is an incredibly fast moving issue where you have seen both parties turn on it. I mean, it's not just in Congress. I mean, at the governor level, you've got Josh Shapiro also on the ballot this November doing a 180 on the issue. Shapiro signed an executive order this week that would significantly clamp down on the data center boom in his state. I mean, this is in Texas. This is not just Democratic kind of purple states. I mean, this is also in Republican states. And they're so far, the kind of the anti-AI data center sentiment is prevailing. And how do the platforms handle this? How does the country handle this? How does the White House handle this? As they see this as an existential crisis of the U.S.'s role in the world and the threat of China kind of winning that race. And so, I just, to me, right now, nobody seems to have a good answer except all sides saying, hold on, we need to take a pause.
Yeah, I don't know, Anna. This is the physical manifestation of a lot of people's anxiety about technology.
For sure.
And I think you're absolutely right that this is going to be, we're only seeing the beginnings of this issue. And, we're going to see it in 27. We're going to see it in 28. And, there are very few states right now that are completely unabashedly welcoming of data centers. Even Texas, Greg Abbott, which we talked about with President Trump. So anyway.
We will be following this very closely. Interested to see the speaker and where everybody is going across the state. All right, Jake, let's go to the number 2 story of the morning. James Braid, it will leave the administration in September. We broke the news on our text platform for premium subscribers last night. But this is a big shift. I think we should talk first about James himself. He's had a lot of success in this role. In a very tight and tough time sometimes between the White House and Congress, but also I think big questions out there about who is next.
Yeah, well, listen, Braid is the longest serving legislative affairs director for President Donald Trump. It's probably his most accomplished. He got the one big beautiful bill through, got another budget resolution through the House, was undefeated in nominations, cabinet level nominations, cabinet level. I mean, there were some other ones that didn't go well, but cabinet level nominations, all pretty much with minimal or no Democratic support. They defeated War Powers resolutions, Genius Act, rescission package, got a Federal Reserve chair. I mean, it's been bumpy. But what governing is not bumpy these days, Anna? The 36-year-old Braid was a former legislative director, I believe, to J.D. Vance when he was in the Senate, and also worked in the House and is also a guest on Flyout Day. So that was a very, you have to do that before you leave the administration. Anyway, let's talk about who's next. The question is, do they go inside or outside? They have a legislative affairs team, but listen, if Democrats take the majority, they've got to come up with somebody who could deal with investigations and who could do business with Democrats. They don't have to, but that would be wise if they did. And if Braid is leaving in September, which he is, they need to figure out some sort of solution for the lame duck. I mean, maybe Susie Wiles, the chief of staff, handles it, but legislative affairs directors are critical in periods like this. So I would imagine they I would like to see who they get up next. It'll be very interesting to see.
All right, let's move on to the number 3 story of the morning. The hot seat. An unnamed House staffer has accused Representative Jimmy Gomez, the Democrat from California, of sexual harassment and assault. According to her lawyers, a dramatic new allegation against the embattled California Democrat. And now there are demands that this investigation and the results of it by the House Ethics Committee be released sooner rather than later.
Gomez has said that any interactions were consensual, but Lisa Banks and Sarah Nesbitt, who represent one of the women who was interviewed by the Ethics Committee, say that the interaction was not consensual in nature. Interestingly, internal politics and a Democratic Women's Caucus led by Teresa Ledger Fernandez, Amelia Sykes, and Hillary Skolton said that the ethics panel should release its findings before the 60-day blackout period that begins in early September. The Ethics Committee is not allowed to release things 2 months ahead of an election. That's not a preference, that's a rule, and they want that out before that. So very interesting, Anna. We'll have to see where this goes. Ethics has been quite busy in the last couple of months. I mean, wow, just a lot of ethics action.
And the timeline is before September is just not that many days left there. So we will watch that closely. All right, stick with us. We appreciate it. As always, you listening, watching us. It has been a very busy August. We got 1 day left. I am out though, Jake. So it's going to be you and our very own Andrew Desidero tomorrow morning.
We'll miss you.
Thank you for listening. Have a great day and stay safe, everybody.